Well, I'm really pleased to be here to join Ranking Member of the Small Business Committee, Senator Cardin, Democratic Leader Schumer, Senator Coons, who's also a member of the Small Business Committee, and Senator Collins, who worked so hard with the negotiating team to put in place the Paycheck Protection Program. And I'm pleased because we have an agreement to extend the expiration date to August the 8th. I came here thinking that we would not be able to get agreement, so I'm glad that Senator Scott was willing to work with us as we try and get not just an extension, because we need an extension of that first round, and that's what tonight does. But we also need another round of PPP. This has by far been the largest business relief effort in our nation's history, for small businesses, anyway. But what I'm hearing now from so many small businesses in New Hampshire, those that have used the PPP program effectively, they've kept their workers on the payroll, they've paid their rent, they're beginning to open back up again, but that funding is about to run out, and they need more assistance as our economy reopens, particularly those mom and pop businesses with very few employees. And in New Hampshire, the tourism and hospitality industries, which have been the first to close and are going to be the last to reopen, and they are just vital to New Hampshire's economy. In New Hampshire, restaurants account for nearly 70,000 jobs for $3 billion in sales, and hotels represent another 29,000 jobs, $1 billion in wages and salaries. I've heard from small businesses like LaBelle Winery, which is a beautiful winery, conference, and wedding venue in southern New Hampshire. It has 100 employees. It's fighting to survive 2 decades of work that the owners of LaBelle Winery have put in, and yet all of their events are canceling for the summer and fall. They've spent their first round of PPP. They're operating now at just a fraction of their capacity. And before the pandemic, this was a thriving business with expansion plans for opening an inn and a second restaurant. Now, if they don't get that second round, they're in real trouble. Colby Inn and Grazing Room Restaurant, which is in the only Henniker on earth, Henniker, New Hampshire, it's about to lose 65% of its revenues this year. The revenue from their high-end restaurant isn't even covering payroll or food costs. They had 95% of all of their events canceled this year. And Bruce, the owner, and his husband Jeff's life savings are in this inn. And if they lose their business, they not only lose their business, they lose their home. If they don't get a second round, if they can't apply for that second round, they may not still be here. So I'm really pleased we've gotten this extension tonight. That's progress. But we need a second round. There's $130 billion left in the Paycheck Protection Program. We need to help those small businesses that need additional assistance. And I'm pleased that we're working in a bipartisan fashion to try and get a bill. We've got a bill that Senators Cardin, Coons, and I introduced. Now we're working with Senator Rubio, chairman of the committee, Senator Collins, who was part of that 4-person negotiating team. And I'm hopeful and cautiously optimistic that if we work together, we'll be able to agree, Republicans and Democrats, on what should be in that second round. The challenge then is to get another package of assistance for not just America's small businesses, but for all of the people who have taken such a hit as the result of this global pandemic. Over 128,000 Americans, 339 Granite Staters, have lost their lives. New Hampshire has an unemployment rate that before the pandemic was under 3%. It's now 14.5%. We've got to help those small businesses get through this period. And I'm hopeful that working together, we can do that. We can get another package of legislation, and we can say to Americans again that help is again on the way. Thank you, Mr. President.